guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have been out of commission for 4 days. I have been sick, which has been horrible, but I didn't have any time to read or film anything, and it is my last week of uni, and I thought, you know what, it would be fun to film my last week and incorporate what I wanted to do in that video. So basically I am trying to finish or at least continue on some of the series that I've started, and I have this whole clip of series that I have started but haven't finished, which I don't really know how I will implement that into this video, but I will figure it out. So I'm literally going in 30 minutes and I'm gonna be packing my bag because I haven't done that yet. I am still using my BuGuMi bag. It's literally the second time I've been using it, and if you guys have watched my previous reading diaries, you would see that I bought it then. It does actually fit my iPad, which is pretty cool, but I gotta pack everything really well, and I'm packing some extra stuff because I need extra stuff. I continued on with 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐻, and I read volume 6 and 7, and after reading that I was like, you know what, I kind of do want to binge read the series because I'm really getting into it. I think it's very sweet and I want to finish it. So I feel like I'm gonna read the whole thing, and technically it is a series that I have to finish. And I'm also currently reading the Nobleman's Guide to Scandals and Shipwreck, which is the last book in the Montague siblings series. I read the first two books. I kind of don't remember what they're about, but I did really enjoy them, and this is the last book. It's about their youngest sibling, and so far it is I am enjoying it, but I don't know, at the same time I'm kind of bored. I know that's a contradiction, but I don't know how to explain it. I'm there for the vibes, but the plot is not moving. There's this whole mystery surrounding their mother's death, and kind of why did she die, how, and I don't know. I feel like we're not getting anywhere. The plot is very slow, so I'm just reading it and I'm enjoying the writing and the characters, but the overall plot is very boring. So my living for the day is Romand, and this is the lovey-dovey. I think lovey-dovey, and it's bright pink. It's absolutely bright pink, but I am into pink, so I don't mind. I basically have a list of books on my notes of series that I need to finish, and this list has been here for a really long time, and I honestly don't think I have progressed with reading any of these series, and it's really bad because there are two options, okay? Either I start a series, I finish the whole thing in one go, or I start a series and then I completely forget what happens in the first book, and then I read the rest of them and I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. So I am hoping to get through these series, and I've only read the ones that I really want to read, because some series that I've started I didn't really like the first book, and then I was like, don't really want to read the rest of the books. But the first one is The Husky and His White Cat Shizen, which I'm up to volume 3 right now, and my plan was to read one volume each month to wait until the 5th volume came out, but the 5th volume has been out for a month and I have still yet to continue on with the rest of the volumes. So I want to do that, but also I'm scared. I don't want to suffer. Then we have Where Dreams Descend, Divine Rivals. Need to read that second book, the 4th one, which I've read 4th Wing and Iron Flame, but obviously the rest of the series has not been released yet. The Atlas 6, The Inheritance Game, From Blood and Ash, which at this point I feel like I may have forgotten what the series is about, because I really loved the series, and I read I think the first 3 books or the first 4 books, I don't really know, and then I kind of stopped reading it, and then there was just so much going on. There was nothing, but there was also so much going on, so I don't really know how much of the book that I remember. Eon, which I read the second book, but I don't know if I read the first book. Betrothed, which I read this book a long time ago, so I don't really know if I actually liked the book or not. The Shadow Games, which I have the last book, The Queen of Vault, left to read. Sherlock Holmes, The School for Good and Evil. Look, I read the first 3 trilogies, but then they came out with the Camelot thing, and I only read one of them, and then I haven't read the rest of the series, and they're entertaining books, but I honestly think that the author should have just stopped with the first trilogy. Why is there more? Crown of Feathers, which I recently just started again, so I'm hoping to read the rest of the series. Montague Siblings, Truly Devious, The Stolen Heir. I'm really excited to read the second book. because the first book was so good. I was basically so in love with it. I read it really fast. So I can't wait to see what happens in the second book, especially because of the way that The Stolen Heir ended. Crescent City, I have very conflicted thoughts on this book because I honestly don't know if I have the motivation to go through the third book, but we will see. It's just so long, and I don't even remember what happens in the first two books. I literally watched Carrie Can Reed's summary of the book, which was very helpful, but I want to read it, but at the same time I'm just like, am I bothered? Song of the Lost Kingdom, Emily Wilde. I'm excited to read that book. Alex Stern, Guardian, 𝐸luminae, Practically Ever After, Nemesis, The Rosewood Chronicles, The Beautiful, Once Upon a Bookish Con, Bone Grace, Raw, and The Other Side of the Sky. Half of these series I started a long time ago, so some of them I really don't remember what they're about, but I just want to finish them. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 꿈속이 꿈일까? 깨도 똑같아. 아침부터 저녁까지 깊고 긴 꿈에 빠지네. Not me literally forgetting that I was filming this video, but I'm currently eating an avocado and chicken sandwich, which was really good, while reading 𝐜𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐜 Kiss. And I think during this I was taking a break from working, but I don't really remember. But during this time I was a little bit stressed about working on my assignment, especially because I was sick and I didn't go to uni because of that. While doing my work, I was watching some Stephanie Sue, which is the best part of doing this, and also my desk. My desk is so messy, and I know that it's messy, but you know what? It's my mess, so I'm not even really bothered by it. This was basically my collage, which is an experiment of all my original prints, and then I scanned those prints and then I printed them out again through like a printer, like a normal printer, not a screen printer. And that's basically what I did. I ripped them up, put them in a little collage, and yeah, that's what they look like. I wanted to do more screen printing, but this is really annoying because I mixed my own inks and I put them in a place so that people wouldn't get them, and guess what? They were all over the place. Someone stole one of my colors and I cannot find it, and it's so annoying because I literally wrote my name on it. So why are you taking my ink that I wrote my name on it? Like, if it has a name on it, I feel like it's pretty like obvious that, I don't know, someone is probably using it, and I literally had to write, please do not touch my ink, because someone keeps taking it and it's really annoying. The thing is as well is that I purposely mix these inks because I need these certain colors for my prints. So if a certain color goes missing or I run out of some ink, it's annoying because if it's hard for me to get that color back, then the prints are basically the colors. You know what, it doesn't really matter that much to me because I'm basically just using random colors in an abstract artwork, but I know other people who ink has been used even though they wrote their names on it, and it's really bad because they need that specific color for their artwork. Anyways, that's my little rant about inks, but seriously, if something has someone's name on it, please do not use it. Like, I'm genuinely so angry about it. I didn't have my tripod, so I couldn't really film what I was doing overhead, but this is basically how I did it, and every single time I do a print, it comes out with a unique pattern, and I wanted to try screen printing over the scanned printed version of my original prints. The thing is, I felt like it didn't make a difference because after the first couple of times I printed, the ink just got mixed together and then it ended up covering the whole entire page, and it completely just printed over what was underneath. So don't really know if I liked how it turned out, but I may try this again. So I ended up continuing on with 𝐜𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐜, and now I'm determined to finish all of it because I'm at that point where the romance is getting like really good, and it's giving me those like butterflies because there's some sort of like angst between them, because Nanami, she really loves Tomoyo and he is starting to realize that he likes her, and it's really cute. I have read the Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwreck. I haven't really read that much, but I am at the halfway point and I still kind of feel like there's no plot, so I'm conflicted. I've been trying to get back into a healthy sleep schedule because, look, I'm very self-aware. I know that my sleep schedule is horrible because I go onto TikTok for like 1 or 2 hours and then I end up sleeping very late at night, and honestly I'm sick of it because what's so good about TikTok? Okay, I hate being on there, but I'm so addicted that every single time I pick up my phone I always click onto TikTok. But the thing is, when I go into my phone there's nothing to do on it anyways, so I don't really know why I pick it up, but I'm trying to get back onto the habit of reading before bed because it actually makes me want to fall asleep. And right now it is around 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna start reading from now on because I kind of want to wind down before I sleep. I am starting to already get tired though, so if I continue to read, hopefully I can go to sleep around 10. I wanted to give a little update on the books that I've been reading. So I'm up to volume 12 of 𝐚𝐿ZAMA Case right now, and I want to see the cute scenes between them. I was like, oh, this is fantasy manga. We have this teenage high school girl who becomes the land god, but I swear to you, it is actually just focused on the romance, and it's so adorable to see Tomoye because he slowly grows to like her, and just like whenever she smiles at him he always blushes, and it's so cute, especially with Nanami. The way that she is drawn, whenever she smiles or does an act of kindness, I swear she literally looks so beautiful. I'm still reading the Nobleman's Guide to, what is it called, Scandal and Shipwrecks, and I'm still struggling. I still feel a little bit bored, but I did read quite a lot from yesterday, which is good. But every single time I open it, I'm kind of like, ugh. It's very complicated because when I'm reading it, I don't mind, like I'm enjoying it, but then when I put the book down, I don't want to pick it back up. I do like reading about Adrian and his struggles with what I think maybe OCD or some sort of anxiety. I don't know, I've never read a character who has experienced mental health this way, which I feel like it's very interesting to be in his head. I still hope that there is no plot. I have resigned myself to that fact. just finished reading 𝐜𝐨𝐧𝐭, the last volume. I don't know why, it made me so emotional just watching all the relationships between all the different people within the manga, and just like how Tomoe and Nanami's relationship also developed after they actually start dating. Just seeing them together is so cute. But the last volume, literally watching them getting married and then everyone coming to their wedding to celebrate them being together, and then the whole ending, literally I was crying so much just because of like the nostalgia. Like it's not even sad, it's a celebration. I always get really emotional about things like this, and I always wish that there's more in the ending. But yeah, I finally finished reading 𝐜𝐴Z𝐭 because I literally spent the whole day reading it, but honestly it was worth it. I also finished reading the last book in the Montague sibling series, so I have finally finished that series, and to be honest, my thoughts about it is very similar to what I felt throughout the book. Even to the last page, I was like, oh my god, this book is so boring, and it's such a horrible feeling. The thing is, I didn't want to DNF it. Okay, I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna continue reading it. And then I read it, then I was like, it's okay. It just felt like nothing really happened. It was also really weird because Adrian in this book is 19, and in the previous books his siblings are also 19. So in this book they're supposed to be 40, which to me is so weird because I can't imagine them being that age. So I finished the Montague sibling series, which I'm really happy about. I finally finished reading it after so many years, and I started reading 𝐸𝐻 volume 3. Because I haven't read that much, I don't really know how I feel about it, so I'm gonna continue reading it because I'm excited to figure out the plots, because I swear with Down My books they have the most randomness plots ever, especially because I know that there's gonna be a lot of angst within this series. I just realized though that volume 5 is not the last volume, so I'm like, oh. Guys, I finished reading volume 3 and it left at a cliffhanger, and you would think, oh, I'm gonna read the second book, right? Not the second book, I'm gonna read the next volume, right? Because it left at a cliffhanger. No, I refuse to, because this book, I swear, every single time something was revealed, honestly, like, my heart broke. The background story of Moran was so sad to read, just seeing how he grew up and his character and kind of the reason why he is the way he is. But also 𝐸₂, when we are in that place, just the little revelations of how much he cared and really, really loved Moran, and did his best and did all these little things for him, even though Moran had no idea. He did all these little things but never got anything back, and just it breaks my heart. But also, like, the fact that in this book Moran finally understands that he finally knows what's going on, and he is finally fully devoted to 𝐸₂. I'm so excited to read the next couple volumes, especially because in the last 2 volumes I was so mad. I was like, Moran, you are so stupid. You're so dumb. But I'm glad that in this book he finally knows, and I'm really excited to read the rest of the volumes, but I'm not going to until the last one is out because I cannot bear it. Not me finding out that this could have 10 to 15 volumes. Are you kidding me? I thought the 6th one was gonna be the last. No, there's a 7th volume. There's a 7th volume on the website. And you know, I was thinking, how come people are like, oh, it's so angsty, like it doesn't feel that bad? It's probably because it's so long that I haven't even reached the angsty part yet. You know, so many people recommended me this book. They were like, oh, you should read it. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read it. Like, it's been on my list. Now I regret reading it because I have to wait so long until all the translations come out, and I know people are gonna be like, oh, you don't have to read the official translations. You can just read the translations online. I could do that, but I feel like if I read it, I would go crazy. You know, like, I need the books to be separated in different volumes so that I will be okay. Because even right now, I've only read the 3rd volume. I'm not okay. Today I had to go to uni bright and early in the morning, which I hate waking up so early, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. And I basically just worked on my artwork, listening to some Stephanie Sue because her videos are always the best. And I was just figuring out what I was doing with my artwork. I had no idea. And basically someone brought a dog to the studio. I have no idea what was going on, but the dog was so cute and looked so fluffy and was just kind of sniffing everywhere and going under the tables and everything. At this point, I was so done with uni because I was there since 9 to 4 and I was just so tired. I literally spent maybe an hour watching YouTube instead of doing my assignment, but I finally pulled myself together, started working on it, listened to music. Did I really know what was going on? No. But at the same time, I was kind of vibing, listening to my music, doing some work. So I wanted to do some more screen printing, but I just want to do another rant about stolen ink because basically the person who used my ink, they switched the tops of the container instead of putting them on the right one, and because of that the color got a little bit mixed and it was so annoying because I'm like, if you're gonna use my ink, at least put the cap on the right container, you know? Anyways, this is what it looks like screen printed back onto the collage and I kind of hate it, so I'm gonna go back to uni and try and fix it because I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh. But in the same time, it looks kind of cool, but I don't like it. This is my last day of uni, which is why I'm going to end this video here. To give you guys my final updates on the books that I've been reading, I ended up DNFing practically about after. The reason why I did this was mainly because of the main character. I just feel like she was going downhill. I think that her character was super interesting, especially because she's the type of character that likes scheduling stuff. She's really smart. However, she just kind of ignores the people around her, her family, friends, her girlfriend, because of the fact that she's very busy, which is understandable. It happens, but I felt like I just didn't want to go through that whole process because I feel like it's just a very basic plot. And also just like the friends and her girlfriend Leia in general, I just felt like they didn't really have any personality, and because they were dating before the book as well, I don't know, I just felt like there was no chemistry, there was no build up in their relationship, which is something that I need in romance contemporary books. So unfortunately this just didn't do it for me, and I had the feeling that yes, I could have read it, but I think I learned from the Doopiano's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks that if it's taken me a long time and I'm considering it, then I should probably DNF it. Next, I'm reading 𝐚𝐮𝐬𝐬𝐬, which is the second book to Betrothed. I just started reading this book on the train, and so far I'm a little bit like, basically we have this girl who finds out that she is a fairy, and there's this guy who is a prince, and she's his betrothed, so basically he's a prince, she's gonna get married to him, obviously. It's set in Australia, which is really cool, and the author is Australian, which I really like. However, although the plot of this book is super interesting because it's based on like fairies and stuff like that, I will say that there is something about the way that the character and the writing in general, it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit off. I think our main character, who has two names, Amy and Marla, has a really, I would say, immature personality, which is something that kind of annoys me, especially because you're reading it from like her point of view. And hopefully when I continue on with the series it gets better. It's interesting, which is why I want to keep reading it, but definitely the characters kind of make me a little bit annoyed. But that's basically all the books that I've read this week. To kind of summarize everything, I finished reading 𝐚𝐸 Kiss, and I finally finished reading the Montague siblings. I have finished reading, well, not finished, I have proceeded with the Husky and his white Shih-Tzu cat. In the end, completed 2 series and have continued on with 2 as well. Let's just hope that in the future I will, you know, finish more series than actually starting them. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I feel like I've been rambling a lot about books, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.